I want to get in my best shape ever this year. If you're looking to do the same, I'd recommend running my new upper-lower push-pull legs program for yourself. It's the same program we ran for this experiment, except it's written to be more individualized to you.
So our favorite influencer, Jeff Nippard, just posted a brand new program. And I wanted to see if it's worth your time, especially if you train at home like I do. You might have seen my other reviews on Jeff's Pure Bodybuilding program. Both Part 1 and Part 2 did extremely well, and I received a lot of comments from you guys. And actually, I was curious whether this new program lives up to the hype. My mission on this channel has always been simple: help lifters like you make gains at home without breaking the bank, wasting money on programs that won't fit. So let's break it down, test it out, and I'm just gonna give you the straight up truth and see whether or not it's gonna be a good fit for a home gym. Also, I might post a 1-week review and as well as a full push day or a sample day coming up ahead, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on those 2 other videos. So what do you actually get when you buy Jeff's Bodybuilding Transformation System program? It's actually very detailed, a PDF and an Excel sheet containing how to progress. It's a 5-day split consisting of an upper, lower, and a push-pull legs hybrid. It focuses maximum hypertrophy and a little bit of strength depending on how you program your rep ranges, and I'll talk about that later on. As well as it has exercise substitutions, a video demonstration on all the lifts that you're going to be doing. It's a multi-week training system that you could absolutely repeat over and over, and you could use it for about a year, which proves why his video right here exactly says he's been running it for over a year and he has great gains from it. So head on to the YouTube link down in the description if you want to watch that video. But anyway, let's talk more about why I like this particular program and what's the difference between the other past programs that Jeff released. So the first thing I noticed from the other programs that he has is this one has a complete beginner guide. So previously in the other ones, he has to state that if you want to make it work as a beginner, you can kind of tweak the rep ranges, the sets, the intensity, but this actual PDF has a 2-part. It has a beginner version and it has an intermediate to advanced version, and depending on which one you get, of course, that'll determine what kind of content it has inside it. If you bought 2 of his programs, the Pure Bodybuilding Phase 1 and Phase 2, I can save you the time right now and say that it's like 5% different. It's almost exactly the same, so you're not getting something new here. Everything, all the principles are here. The main difference would be that every single exercise on the last set, he has to push it all the way to failure. This is on the intermediate to advanced version. You won't see that on the beginner because if you're a beginner, you don't really need to push your sets to failure for the most part. In the PDF, you'll see a chapter entirely about anatomy, which is really good. I think that's super important. It also has the progression schemes, the different kinds of approaches to progressive overload. He guides you on how he wants you to train and use the program itself. How much muscle can you gain from this? If somebody new to lifting were to read that beginner PDF, they would absolutely learn a ton and not waste any years of lifting. So Jeff has always been good with that kind of information. It's not that science-y, you know what I mean? It's more for the masses. There's a lot of substitution exercises listed in the program. In the Excel sheet, you can see 2 substitute exercises for each main lift, and that is super helpful, and it depends on your situation and your goals, which one you want to do. However, I should say that this program is, again, machine-based, meaning it's highly efficient if you use machines. That, at least that's what Jeff says. From a perspective of pure hypertrophy, he tends to stay away from the free weights because mostly it's because of fatigue. I believe the point was if you can get as much muscle stimulus from a machine without as much fatigue, why not choose the machine? For our specific use case, on a home gym perspective, it's mostly doable, I should say. Pretty much almost all of the main lifts have a free weight substitute exercise, so it depends on what kind of gear you need or what kind of gear you have in your home gym space. I would say that at least you should have an adjustable bench, a barbell, a couple of dumbbells, maybe an adjustable dumbbell if you have the budget, and a squat rack, of course. If you have all of those, sweet. Maybe some bands as well. And yeah, the accessories, he also listed some, but it's not really that important for now. But yeah, you can do the entire program with just those things that I mentioned. Is it gonna be as effective? Probably not. According to him, you have to use a full gym, but we make it work. Depends on what we have, right? Just set your expectations. As long as you have your expectations, you won't be disappointed with the program because it's an absolutely phenomenal program. I think one of the cool things that he added on this program is it has a solid volume progression. I think this is the first time that I've seen Jeff program a style which you ramp up the volume over time and incorporates the deload, of course, but it's usually just push the last set to failure, keep the intensity high, but not more than 8 to 10 sets for each muscle group. But this one actually is very interesting. On week 7 to I think 10, on each week, you ramp up the volume, you add more to it, which makes sense given the fact that we know volume will help with hypertrophy. So you have the intensity basket and you have the volume basket, and you can use both for your training. Lastly, I want to talk about how well this template has been written. Out of all the things that I've tried before, this one's by far the cleanest or easiest to follow, pleasing on the eyes. It really tells you how you can use the workouts or how you can execute one workout day, for example. You can see the exercise name. It's clickable, meaning it'll take you to a secret YouTube account, probably the closest thing you ever get to Jeff Nippard OnlyFans. Each exercise has its substitutions along with some RPE. If you don't know what that means, it's just what your effort should be on each lift. He says there are early sets and there are last sets. Basically, if you have 3 sets, the first set and the second set are called early sets, and set number 3 is the last set. And within those 3 sets, the last one will always have an intensity technique and also pushed all the way to failure 95% of the time. And I think that's a little bit different from the last pure hypertrophy program, because on some workouts like the RDL, he tends to have a lower RPE on that one. It clearly says how much rest time you need. It has the guide as well, like workout notes that you should focus on, some lifting cues that you should absolutely utilize. They are spot on. And I think the most important is to track your weights. If you're not using a program to track like Boostcamp, you can just print out the Excel sheet, or you can just type it in online on your phone and your iPad and just keep track there. He also mentioned that for the first time in a few years, he's been really consistent with tracking, and he implemented that into his new program. For the first impression, overall solid program. I would definitely try it out after I finish this power building block from Alex Bromley. I'm doing some sort of a powerlifting base building mesocycle, but after this I'll focus on 100% hypertrophy again, and it'll be focused on the home gym workouts. I don't have the fancy cable systems, so it'll just be free weights, and we will see if Jeff Nippard's program will work. Stay tuned for that. Let me know if you have some questions about the program down in the comments below, but that's it for now. It's Kevin from Home Gym Gains. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. If I was able to do a 1 week to 2 week review of the program, it should be right here on the screen instead of this empty chair. What are we doing here? All right, guys, I'll see you on that video.